Cloudy, snow early, then flurries on and off. A high should be 21 today. It is 17. This is the Y105 FM early morning show on the Christmas station. Merry Christmas. I'm James Rabe, and it was 36 years ago today John Lennon was shot and killed. It was 52 years ago today that the Beatles gave a press conference at Olympia Stadium in Detroit, and John Lennon foreshadowed his own death. True story. I know it. I've heard it, and you can hear it too because of my dad. He was the guy that set up the press conference. He was the guy sitting at the table with him. You can see that right there in the picture. He's the guy on the end with the sassy goatee, and he recorded the whole thing. It is amazing to listen to this tape, both because it's the Beatles. I mean, it's the Beatles. Who doesn't know the Beatles, right? There are grade school kids that could tell you Beatles songs. And because it's just these four guys that had no idea really how big they were and how big they were going to be and how huge their careers were. So everything they said was being taken, written down, and held on to. And my dad had this tape, and I remember him telling us stories about it, about the interview and how surprised he was at what I'm going to play first, a question about their influences. You see, the press asked about their influences, and they mentioned Motown, and the Beatles had to explain what Motown was. They were in Detroit, and the people that were following them on the tour had no idea what Motown was. And keep in mind, this is 1964.
Which single person or group has most influenced the Beatles' music?
Nicky Cuff, I'd say. No, American coloured groups, mainly, and early Elvis Presley.
In fact, the Detroit sound.
When Elvis was...
In fact, yes. In fact, yeah. We're in the very place, aren't we? Yeah. The Tamla Motown mob are our favourites, you see.
Could they be more specific and name a few coloured groups now?
Yes.
The Miracles, the Impressions, Marvin Gaye,
Mary
Shirley
Wells,
Wells, the Exciting.
Major Lambs, to name but 80.
Chuck Jackson.
No. But we've heard that the trick that they do is they say it's not really segregated. They just stick all the coloured people up in a little corner and they pretend that's not really segregated. So we'd have to have a look.
It's a lousy trick, isn't it?
So getting a little political as well, and I almost sounded like my dad was. You're in Motown. How can you not know who these groups are? So then later in the interview, John Lennon answered a question most bands probably get when they reach a certain size and popularity. Hey, are you guys ever going to break up? And the answer didn't mean anything until December 8th, 1980. Beforehand, it was just a question with John Lennon trying to be funny. And then, in 1980, Mark David Chapman shot him outside John Lennon's home in the Dakota apartment building in New York City. And then the answer took on a completely different meaning.
One last one here. Is it true they're leaving show business in a year?
No.
Not as far as we know, anyway.
Unless we get shot or something.
This is the new Y105 FM.